What's going on, my friends? It's Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. You know what time it is. It's game time. Who? My friends, yet another week. We are bringing back more rock stars, more just amazing, ordinary people doing extraordinary things from this community. As you can see, I have a hat on. I won't be wearing this forever. This is a special edition because your boy just turned 40. And somebody gifted me this. Not everybody looks this good at 40. Come on, let's go, baby. Okay, new chapters, new chapters. It's beautiful because I did this business when I was 25. I'll be doing this business, and I am doing this business here as a career at 40. I'll be doing this as well at 55, right? These 15-year increments. And most likely involved in some way, shape, or form, hopefully at 70. Because what we're going to talk about today, you'll see, is timeless. The mindset, sure, the mechanics might change, but the dynamics never will. And today is a beautiful day for you if you're brand new, or if you're looking to start over, to make this the first page in the first chapter of your book. Now, this morning we have a full-time HR representative. Okay, HR, who would have thought? Okay, we've got doctors, lawyers, plumbers, contractors, stay-at-home moms, HR reps, and obviously she's got more that's going on in her life than just that, but that's just her career path up until this point, and she's gained 50,000 followers in 2 months. Let's learn. Jazmeen, welcome to the show.
Hi.
How are you?
Great, honestly.
Yeah?
Yeah, really great.
Great. I'm glad to hear that. So, are you always great, or are you more great over the past 2 months?
I'm probably more great over the past 2 months, if I'm being honest. I mean, don't get me wrong. Life is great. There's always something to be grateful for, but definitely the past 2 months has been a little more great.
Okay. All right. So talk to us a little bit about why that is. What led you here? What were you looking for? Obviously, it sounds like you found something that you were looking for. Elaborate a little bit for us.
Yeah. So, of course, as y'all know, well, I started actually maybe like 2.5 months ago with Legendary. I was just late at night scrolling through Instagram, and I come across this stay-at-home mom that's like, this is what I'm doing, and I've had so much success within a year. And I don't know, that really stood out to me because just like you said, there's a little background where I was a young mom and a single mom for such a long time. And when I turned 25, I'm 31 now, but when I turned 25, I decided I don't want to be able to say I didn't do this because of this. Like I graduated high school, and that's a big thing in my family because I was actually a first generation graduate. My parents do not have degrees. My grandparents do not have degrees. It's not a big thing. So when I made I made that decision of, like, at 25 to my daughter, like, I don't ever want her to say, oh, you made this excuse, so can I. Like, you didn't go to college. So, like, if she's faced with, like, life circumstances, I don't want them to be an excuse. So I went to school. I've gotten multiple degrees from then till now. I would work 2 to 3 jobs at a time, and that was great, right? We tend to have this mindset that you're winning if you're hustling. Like, let me do it now. I'm hustling. I'm making money. I'm working 2 to 3 jobs, but it would suck sometimes in the eyes of a child when they, you come home and you're thinking you're doing all this for them. And yes, you are doing well with what you have, but, it sucks to hear, like, oh, Mom, you're going to work again. You're doing this again. Oh, when are you, So in seeing this young woman on Instagram doing all these great things, and what hit me about her is she's so normal. Like, she looks like me. She acts like me. She's like a 30-year-old woman with kids, and she's done so well. And in that moment, I just decided, why not me? If she can do it, why can't I? Why can't I do it? And honestly, why can't I do it better? She had to be the first. There was someone before her to be the first to get to where she is. So why not me? And I just decided, worst case, what do I have to lose?
Mm.
$7, you know, like, what do I have to lose? You know, get to the next level. What do I have to lose? I've spent thousands of dollars on my education. You know, we spend $2,000-3,000 on one class at a university without hesitation. And that's just one step in your degree. One step. I can do nothing with that one class that I've spent $2,000-3,000 on. It's one step, but because society says get your degree and do this, why not? I'll go hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, you know, behind a degree. And don't get me wrong,
Let me get this hat in.
I've learned a lot. But if I can do that without hesitation, invest in something to work for someone else, I can invest in anything, any time, any energy, and any amount of money into myself for my dreams, right? And that really was my mindset. I was like, I've invested all this and didn't think twice about it. Why can't you do that for me? I've worked hard to make other people millions. I've worked hard for companies all my life. I can't put that same energy into myself. And that's really just the truth of it.
And here we are.
Here we are.
And it feels good. It feels great.
It feels great. Yeah, it feels great. It feels great to do something for yourself. It feels good to try. It feels good to fail. It feels good to try again. And then it feels good to succeed. Like, there's steps to it, you know? So that's probably the best part, is doing something for yourself, but truly learning what it is to do the right thing, to do the wrong thing, but ultimately to learn, to grow, and to do what's best for me and for my family. And that's just kind of been what I'm doing.
So you said that it feels good to fail. I see a lot of people who are afraid to fail. They're struggling.
Yeah.
Everything is a struggle, you know, and it's almost like they're looking for, I shouldn't say they or you, because I am you, you are me. We all have been at different points or at similar points in our journey at some point. I'm, of course, nearly 15 years into this. Surely there was a time in my career that I've been addicted to struggle, or like on the pity pot, or, you know, struggling with something and wanting to sort of announce that instead of focusing on solutions. What do you mean by it feels good to fail? What has this process been like for you in the sense of the failing and then the getting back up? And yes, I have problems, but thank God they're my problems for the business that I'm building for me. Can you say more about that?
Of course. So when I say it feels good to fail, you know, being like looking at my social media now and saying, oh, she's 2.5 months in, 50 or now like 60,000 followers. It just seems like, oh, that just happens, right? Like that must have just happened, or maybe she's different, or maybe she has this. Because, you know, I definitely, I'll be honest, I'll share a moment where I had all the nerve and all the audacity to walk through my house. I remember walking towards my room on my lunch break. I don't know why this moment clicks in my head. I was not even 2 weeks in to Legendary Marketing, starting a brand new account, everything from scratch, right? 2 weeks in. And I was just so frustrated and ready to give up because I was not a millionaire. The audacity, right? The audacity to be like 2 weeks in, just because someone, you know, and not saying, hey, maybe it could happen for someone, but I had that mindset, and I had to take a step back because I was comparing myself to other people. I was comparing myself to other people's success. I was getting impatient because I forgot that what I signed up for was just, it was an opportunity for myself, for my future, but I knew what I was signing up for. It says in the beginning, like, this isn't get rich quick. This is, you need time, you need energy, you need consistency, you need all of this. And in my mind, I'm just thinking, I'm just dishing out videos, doing this and that, and wondering why it's not working for me. But then, and that was my failure. I got a little like, well, this isn't working. It's not working because I'm doing it. They said be consistent. I'm being consistent for 2 weeks. And why am I not, you know, doing all these great things, right? Why not? And then I kind of humbled myself and I said, you know what, Jazz, look at it this way. Because yeah, maybe this girl did it in 9 months. Maybe this girl did it in 6 months. Maybe this girl did it in 2. Maybe this girl did it in 1. But if I stopped right now, is the path that I'm currently on taking me towards financial freedom? Is this 2.5% raise increase for all the hard work, but really the cost of living I'm getting every year, is that going to get me $100,000, $500,000, $1 million in 5 years? If it took me 10, would what I'm doing aside from this get me there? No. And so I was failing myself because I was getting impatient, or I was giving up. I was giving up on myself. I would say, I'm not going to do it today because I'm busy. I'm not going to do it today because my daughter has a game, so I have to go. Oh, I had to work today. I have a 9 to 5. Hello, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. That didn't stop me from going out to the club when my friend invited me. You know, that didn't stop me from going to grab drinks with the girls. That didn't stop me from binge watching a Netflix show because I'm tired. And I get we need moments to rest. I do get that. But in my mind, if I put in 2-3 hours a day now, I'm getting decades back on my life. I'm getting decades back on my children's life, my family's life. And that has been the most eye-opening thing for me. I failed. I didn't have purpose in what I was doing. I was just doing it instead of seeing why I started in that moment. When we watch these videos or we come across these people, I would say most of us, of course, yeah, sure. I wouldn't lie and say I wouldn't want to be a millionaire. I wouldn't want to make 6 figures. Of course, that'd be a lie. But what I had to think, what was the first thought that came in my mind when I saw this young woman doing it? I thought, man, if I could travel the world, if I could do this with my family, if I could pay off my grandparents' home, if I could give that, they just retired, right? How many more years do they have? 10, 15? What if I could make those the best 10, 15 years of their lives? What if I could do that? That was on my purpose. And I lost sight of that when I got all consumed in, oh, I got to build my system. Oh, I got to do this. It's so frustrating. Oh, I'm not making money. Yeah. And I stopped and I went back to the girls page that I saw. And I would recommend anyone to do this when you're feeling stuck, when you're feeling lost. Go back to that video or to that page or to that person and think, what was it about them or that video or that post that made you feel something, that made you think I can do this? Because you didn't sign up thinking I can't do this. You signed up thinking you could. Where did you lose that? And when I went back and watched all those things, I thought, she made me feel something. She made me feel like she's ordinary and she can do it, so I can do it. You know what? She also did this. Okay, let me look at another person. Wow, that made me feel something. He showed me that he did this, but he can also do this. I wrote all those things down. I went back to the drawing board. And when I tell you, 3 weeks in, I remember this conversation. The week I made the video, my first video that went viral, I was talking to my husband and we made a joke and I was laughing because I was like, yay, I finally got double-digit followers, as in 10. 10. I'm almost a month in and I'm sitting here flirting with 7 to 10 followers, just 10. And I was so confused. I thought I was doing it well. And I was just like, well, when people see my page, they're going to be like, why would I follow her or believe she's doing anything affiliate marketing or this? She has 10 followers. I don't believe that. Like she's not doing nothing. She's not successful. I kept going. I started doing it for myself and for other people and for the purpose of what my business was. And I'm telling people, like I see people say this all the time, and I know it sounds crazy. It took one video. One video. And it was not the video I thought it would be. Not. It took one video that I made in my hotel room randomly while I was traveling for work. One video that I didn't put energy into. I just remember hearing the song on the radio in my Uber on the way to work. And I'm like, I'm going to attach that sound to it. I'm going to do this. And one video. And in 3 weeks, at week 3, end of week 4, I had 10 followers by the end of week 5. So we're still only talking about a month in. I had like 10,000.
Wow.
And I kept going and I built on that momentum. But most importantly, when that one video went crazy, I took the time to step into my purpose, which was helping people. That's what I said I wanted to do. And the video was not about just, legendary marketing. It wasn't. It was about what I wanted to do, which was help people to become financially free. It's a side hustle. It's a this, it's a that. And they commented, Jazz, can you help me with this? Where can I find the website for this Amazon job? I got you. Let me send it. Does that benefit me at all? But I'm a person. And people want to see that you're a person. People want to see that you're here to help them and not just gain, but to give. We're not just here to receive something. Like the goal is to give back, right? And I think that when that started, when I tell you, that was probably the only couple of days that I definitely did more than 1 to 3 hours, but it was by choice. My husband's watching a show, he's playing the game, and I'm on the couch the whole time just responding, sending a message. You need help, I'm sending it. And now it's just this newfound trust. These people, it's like, yeah, there's a million things and a million people out there. What makes you different? So I failed by thinking I could just post videos and someone owed me something. But I learned that you have to have some value in what you're doing. You have to have purpose. You have to have substance. You can't just put things out there. This is a business. You learn great things. And it's your business. Do it with integrity, do it with purpose, and then do it full out. And don't give up on yourself. So
this is also the beautiful, wonderful, well said. We could end the show right there. Seriously. This is also the real world. This is also how business works. And a lot of us get kind of shocked at that, wait, hold on a second. I bought a course and now I'm doing what I think they're telling me to do, but I probably really haven't gone through the education, and I'm still new, and I'm kind of copying people, and I'm also comparing people, and I don't think I need to work on my mindset, but I'm struggling and frustrated that I've not gotten results 2 weeks or 2 months in. And the truth is that welcome to the world of entrepreneurship. Welcome to the most raw reality of what real life is that you'll ever face and that you need to face now, because a job has likely sheltered you from the reality that all products don't sell, that all company owners don't succeed because they don't pivot, because they don't innovate, because they don't change, because they are entitled, because they have poor mindsets. The marketplace, which is the marketplace is the other 8 billion people out in the world. The marketplace tells you what is good, tells you what they like. They are so clear. We should be so thankful for the marketplace, because human beings are so clear with their communication, right? And I'm not talking about one-on-one. That could be frustrating sometimes. I'm talking about, man, if they're buying and they're liking and they're sharing and they're messaging, they love it. And if they're not, they don't. So give them something different, and they'll either continue to be silent, they'll either continue to ignore, or suddenly you'll change something. You will change, not them. You will change something in your marketing, and suddenly they will frenzy and flock to what you're doing. The market will tell you, but unfortunately, it's such a shock to some of us because we're so used to, well, I put in my 8 hours. I need to get my $15 an hour. I need that check. Right. I showed up. I was in the building. Right. And so we feel entitled, and that's how we've been raised. That's we got a grade for showing up in school. Remember? I don't know about you, but I did. It was like, and if I missed 10 days, I automatically failed. That's how I dropped out of high school, was because they started this rule where if you miss 10 days. So basically it was just show up and you pass. But that's not how business is. You don't get to just show up on social media and get rich. You have to innovate. You have to be creative. And somebody, Sherry, I've got it up on the screen right here, says, I remember you from the Blueprint group, and your video went viral and you shared so that others won't give up. You wrote in your questionnaire that you were thinking about that $2,500 investment, and like, you're not going to make that money back. And I mean, you were essentially setting yourself up for failure even before you bought. Can you talk about how that decision, how you contemplated that decision and finally made it, and then how you've utilized the coaching in the group and actually been a student to learn these strategies so you can be more successful instead of just what I see so often? And it's okay if you've done this, friends. Let's just live and learn. We buy something and then we feel entitled. Well, I put the money down, right? Talk a little bit about making that decision to invest in yourself.
Okay, so I'll talk about that. So initially, when it got around to it, and I'll just be transparent also with something about me in case this helps someone on a part of the reason as well, because I never want someone to feel like they can't, but I also have ADHD. So my attention is like, if I'm in something, I can be in it, but when I don't want to, nothing can make me. It's sometimes it feels paralyzing. I just can't, right? And so with that, yeah, I'm like, it's crazy. So, but when I was going, through the training, through the challenge and everything, and we got to that point. At first I was like, wow, I've already learned a lot of information. Imagine what he has to offer in this, like I could really benefit from this. Days where I'm feeling stuck, even if you don't have it, because my husband, he's perfectly fine. He's gonna, he looks at stuff and he's just like, it could just be, it's a lot. You got to think in 15 days, you're giving us all this information on how to learn a new skill and implement it into our own business. And that's great, right? But then we also have to realize it's been 15 days. So if you think you know how to be a business owner or run a business, you don't. You can get stuck. You can feel overwhelmed. And of course, it's still possible, of 100%. But I thought to myself, one part of it, like I said, going back to it, was I've invested so much into my degree and didn't think twice about it. Yeah, you know, but I was still doubtful. Like, man, I don't have this money to just give. Like, I don't just have this laying around. Like, I have a kid, in case of emergencies. No, I can't do this. I can't do this. And I sat there with my thoughts and how I couldn't do this. And remember how I said we all go into this thinking we can, right? And then we got to realize those moments where we start doubting ourselves. And that was one of the first moments where I was so happy thinking I could do this. She did it. I could do this. And then when it came to something challenging or something that required a hard decision, I was like, no, but what if I fail? What if I fail? And I talked to my husband about it. He was actually pretty supportive, and actually talked to one of my, I'd only told like one of my close cousins about this up until this point. And they both pretty much said like, Jazz, if anybody can do it, you can do it, right? And I'm like, right, I believe in myself. And I thought by saying no, right? Because we think we could be these millionaires. By saying I can't invest $2,500 in myself is saying that I truly don't believe I can make it back. Which let me know that before going into it, I'd already failed because my mindset was poor. I think I can be a millionaire, but I don't think I can make $2,500 back. My husband said to me, if you stay consistent and you work hard, even if it comes slow, it's inevitable for you to get your money back. Do it. And I did. I didn't have the money, but I did. Yeah, I pulled out my credit card. I did, and I bought them, and they were so beneficial to me. Excuse me. They were so beneficial because, like I said, it really hit me. Like I said, thinking that like we all want to do great. We say, yeah, I got what it takes. I'm willing to put in the work. I'm willing to do all this. Let me know, Dave. Let me know what to do. I'm gonna do it. Well, there's these I can really help you with. And it's like, yeah, what else? What else? Is there a second option? Could you just little tips and tricks maybe, and not that you need them to succeed, but there's information in those blueprints that you're not going to get anywhere else. Yeah, you can search YouTube, you can do all that. You could still be very successful in your business. I want to be clear. But my mindset was usually when we do this, we're not thinking, I want to take forever to do it. I want to do it as quickly as possible. So how can I do that? And the truth, that was my way to do that. I said, why not? Why not? And I did it. And it was very helpful. And when I was doubtful, what I loved about it is not only do you have this access to all this information, but like you said, there's a different group of people on another, the Facebook group that just elevates everything. My dad has always told me, like, look at your 5 closest friends, the closest people around you, and you're an average of that. So why would I not want to be surrounded by people that are on the same mission, have the same goal, or have had crazy levels of success that I'm only dreaming of right now? People that are willing to help, people that you can say, hey, I'm struggling, what can I do? And they will come to you as a genuine person for your business and say, oh girl, let me tell you what you're not doing. Actually, I love you, but like, you're doing a great job. You're killing it, Jazz. You're crushing it. However, and I'm like, that's what I want. That's what I love. It's never mean or malicious, but it's truly a group of like-minded people wanting to help people achieve the same goal. Everybody's rooting for everybody. Nobody's saying like, oh wow, she has this many, like she said, she remembers when I posted that video about, and people that hadn't even gotten to that point, that had maybe been there longer than me, maybe people that just started, were all commenting like, either, Jazz, this is awesome, I needed this, or this is amazing, so happy, or man, you're crushing it, girl, you're doing this and that. And sometimes that's what you need. The coaching has just been amazing. If I have a question, it's answered. If I need help, if I'm feeling stuck, it's answered. That is a luxury that I have gotten with the blueprints that I would not have had if I didn't have it. Like, so yeah, it's still possible, without them. But I basically have someone holding my hand, telling me, like, when I'm feeling a little doubtful or stuck, saying, girl, keep going, or here's what you have to do differently, or here's something that will really help you. So it's been extremely, extremely beneficial in that regard to have that much information at my fingertips at any given time.
And I was thinking about what your friend said when you were talking to her, or your family, somebody you said, if anybody can do it, you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting is that some of us hear you say that and say, golly, do I have anybody in my life who's like that? Well, guess what?
You do.
On that Facebook, on that Blueprints coaching call, when you shared that, or when somebody else shared that, there was probably 30, 50, 100, how many ever people that were all in your corner celebrating you. So, see, there's 2 ways that we get as successful people, leaders, entrepreneurs, into elite circles, into the rooms where we can pick our 5 who we want to influence us. The first way is to buy your way in. The second way is to succeed your way in. Mm-hmm. And both are just as good.
Yeah.
Both are just as fine. The most elite people in the world buy their way into rooms, buy $25,000 plates at fundraisers, to be in the room with influencers, leaders, other successful entrepreneurs. Money is what do you think lobbying is? Lobbying makes the world go round, friends. It's the foundation of our entire political system. Lobbying is where we make a donation to a politician. And guess what? Now all of a sudden our wants, our desires, our initiatives are on the radar, are on front of mind of that politician. That's how things get done in this. Like it or hate it, it's time to wake up and get real. See, they're not talking about this in high school or college or the JOB, but this is the reality of how people get ahead in this world, is they buy their way into places. And what we're selling here is not a course. What we're selling is speed. What we're selling is pain and harm reduction, right? To try to help entrepreneurs avoid landmines that are up ahead. What we're selling is support. What we're selling is coaching. What we're selling can be perceived almost not as friendship, but as camaraderie, because the entrepreneur journey is lonely, especially at the beginning when you feel like you're the only one who's failing, or as you start succeeding and you don't have anywhere to celebrate it because you've got friends and family who don't really understand and might perceive you as bragging. You learn you want to keep some of that stuff private, except in your entrepreneur circles. So certainly after you've gained some of these skills, as you start having success, then you also get into these rooms, you double the fun, because now you're not only getting in rooms because you understand what money is. It's a resource. It's an entry ticket. It buys your way into things, just like it buys you into nice restaurants versus eating at McDonald's every night, just like it buys you VIP seats versus sitting in the nosebleeds, just like it buys you a nice seat in a nice car or a nice recliner in a nice house. It also buys you a seat at the table with people who are on the same mission and who can help you. But then once you start to succeed, you also get invitations into those rooms because you're successful. So you double the pleasure, double the fun, right? A lot of people just, like you said earlier, we get to that place to where it's like, okay, there's an investment. We're successful people. We're selling information. We're selling our knowledge. We're selling our wisdom, but there's a ticket price for it. And if we're sort of primed to only be freebie seekers, to not really understand what I just said, absolutely, that's the default. You said it. Well, got anything else?
Right.
Got any more freebies? Got any more coupons? Yeah. Maybe I'll go back to YouTube and suffer and struggle some more. When the truth is that, look, it's okay. We're not all cut out for this. We're not saying that entrepreneurship is for everybody. We're saying that the majority of people who buy any how-to information on the internet get no results at all. The same way that anybody who buys dumbbells or how many of you have bought in the past one of those, a treadmill or a bike, right? That just ended up being a clothes hanger. It's okay. It's okay. That's human nature. Most people buy stuff that to improve themselves and can't find the motivations. All of a sudden start struggling. All of a sudden start getting busy in other areas to avoid that work. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. You're normal. You're ordinary. You're average, just like everybody else in this world. And that's why I used to wear a hat that said F average, be legendary, because that's what it takes. We all have average in us. We all do. It's how society raised us. And even more so in this century. Not in past centuries. We was legendary in past centuries, right? Because we was running from saber-toothed tigers and all the other kind of stuff. But look, modern day society's made some average people, man. Spits them out like Twinkies on a factory belt. Yeah. So we're all faced with the same choices. Did you realize that too? Also, have you realized that success is not that hard? This is my big secret to success. Mm-hmm. I've realized that most people don't want to do the work. So if I'm just willing to do the consistent work on a daily basis and show up every day and try and learn and apply and stay humble, I got a really good shot at being successful. Way more of a shot than I realized.
Yeah, 1000%. And even so what you're saying, yes, I have realized that, one, and two, even to piggyback off of what you said, just within the community, how you gain all these people that are like, yes, yes, yes. If I'm being honest, when I started my business, even up until now, there's so many people in my family that don't even know I'm doing legendary. But let me tell you why. It's knowing myself, knowing what I'm capable of, and also knowing who not to include in my process, right? Because a lot of us have families that they feel like because they haven't done it, then you can't. You say, wow, I'm going to do this new thing. And then here goes this aunt or this cousin That's just a scam. You're not going to be a million. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. And it's just like, okay, all right. And what you put into your mindset, your purpose, your mission, and your journey is just as important as what you're going to get out. You put negativity into the world, I solely believe you're going to get it back. You put negativity into a situation, into an argument. Think of things on a smaller scale. What is that gonna, you go and yell at somebody like, oh, you're not this and that. You think they're gonna respond with, well, you are just absolutely beautiful. No, I'm gonna get negativity right back. Okay. So I'm not putting that out there. I fall asleep every night listening to motivational, like money motivational things, like playing on, like, cause I got positive words of affirmation on my mirror when I wake up on sticky notes, but I didn't involve a lot of family or friends, because at the start of my journey, I don't need anybody in my ear telling me what I cannot do. Because whether, we believe it or not, that stuff sits with us eventually. Then when we do have that bad day, or that second week where I had 10 followers and I wasn't a millionaire, I probably would have thought back about what my aunt said. It's probably just a scam. It's probably just this. Where would I be now if I let her get in my head, or him get in my head? So that's why also having purchased those blueprints was so beneficial, because like you said, we get to celebrate those wins with people that are on the same mission. So they're truly celebrating us. Like, and it gives you this like boost of momentum to like, okay, keep going, keep doing it, like, and not somebody that's like, well, that's probably just one. That's probably just this, So I have learned it's much easier to be successful than I thought in this. I really thought, man. Oh, so at first I thought it's going to be easy. I got it. I'm going to kill it. I was humbled. I was. But then I came back stronger, like, but it's okay if my journey is not her journey, if my journey is not his journey, that's okay. I'm still going to get it done. I can't spend my time worrying about negative things or the positive that other people have going on. I will celebrate them. And when it's my turn, they will celebrate me. And so that's what I did. Like you said, just staying consistent and doing all of those things, and not giving up on myself, but understanding that this is a business and you have to put work into it, that it was so much more attainable. Like sometimes I constantly remind myself, I'm not even 3 months in. Wow. Like I'm not even, when I get impatient, like, is it coming? Why did I have I still have bad weeks now. I still have bad days now where I feel like, oh man, but last week was so, no, or, oh, it's overset. Too many people are doing this. Trust me, you could see there's a million burger places, but do you know a top 3? Do you know McDonald's? Do you know Burger King? There's a lot of places that are doing the same thing, right? You can still go out there and do it better. You could still go out there and get on the same level as them. You could still go, there's enough room for everybody. There's millions of restaurants. We all still got to eat, right? So it's just the same with that. It's not oversaturated. It's not this. Don't worry about someone else's journey. Because yeah, maybe they're doing it if they're doing it, but they probably gave up already. What are you doing? I had to stop looking at people's stuff and saying, but she has this many followers and I only have this many. That's her journey. In 2 months, you may double what she has if you focus on you and not what she has. Yeah. And, that's what happened to me. Like I said, I was like, only 10, only 9, only 7.
Yeah. And Aunt so-and-so said what? And oh man, my dad thinks this, or my brother thinks that, or my husband thinks this.
Yes.
Obviously, there's a different dynamic that we need to have with our spouses and life partners. We owe them more than we owe our parents or our aunts. So I want to be crystal clear about that. We owe our children more. I would say the only people that we owe an explanation to are the people who live with us inside of our home, who we're in personal or romantic relationships with, i.e. spouse, children. That's it. That's it. Not mom, not dad. If you're over the age of 18, you need to cut the umbilical cord, friend. Right. You need to fly the nest. We need to grow up. We need to grow ourselves up. We need to disconnect all of the emotional cords that are oftentimes end up in entanglement with our family, with our friends, right? They turn into emotional rat's nests. It's like, oh my God, that's what my father used to say whenever I used to wrap up an extension cord when I was, a young whippersnapper. He said, son, that looks like a rat's nest. Let me show you how to wrap that thing up right. Well, we get entangled in these emotional rat's nests with our friends and our family because we want their validation. We feel the need to explain what we're doing to them. Try this, friends.
Don't.
Say nothing.
Yes.
Don't even say anything. Don't even bring it up. Find something else to talk about, because what you will find, and this has been a process of me growing up and maturing as well, I am so selective about the things that come out of my mouth in casual, small talk conversation with friends and family. It's not that important. It's not a therapy session. I don't need to lay all my vulnerable stuff out for them to pick apart, and knowing that their words weigh the heaviest on my heart.
Right.
I need to be very careful. I need to choose wisely about the things that I speak to people. If somebody said something that hurt my feelings, it's my fault. Why? Well, because I'm getting offended. That's number one. But number two, because I chose to tell them, most likely knowing exactly who they were.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I had a fantasy that they were going to support me in a certain way. But again, that's my fault. And when I own that, when I take ownership of that, it's so freeing, because now I realize, oh my God, I'm in control of what I talk about with people. It is such an empowering thing. Have you ever walked away from a day of conversations with people that everything just seems so stressful and heavy, and oh my God, I don't even know how it ended up like that. I went over to just try to help. We were just hanging. No. If you retrace your steps, you overshared.
Mm-hmm.
I overshared something with somebody who I knew was not a safe person to share that with.
Right.
What comes up for you as I'm kind of ranting about this? You can tell I got some experience with this as well.
I'm definitely feeling that. Yeah. And it really does make a difference. It's unfortunate that we can't share, but like you said, most of us know who those people are. And when we get to this point where we're like, truly, if you really want to make a change for yourself, you have to be willing to do things you've never done before, or do things that may be a little stressful or uncomfortable or out of the ordinary for your day to day. Because whether we believe it or not, I'm a big believer. Well, I mean, it's not even believe. It's just a thing. Like, a lot of things are learned behaviors, right? So, a lot of us do live in families or surrounded by people that they're naturally negative, or they're naturally like, you can't. But when I look around, and I mean no disrespect or shade to anyone, but I'm like, why would I listen to somebody that's not somewhere where I desire to be? Why would I listen to you tell me what I can't do? Have you tried this before? No. I'll be the first to try then. And if you want to be the second or third, and I'll see for myself. Because even if I did have someone, a cousin or a friend or whoever, that did try and they failed, okay, well, maybe it just didn't work for you. Like you said, everything is not for everybody. I'm very clear on that too. When people, come to me about it, if they do. But in starting out, I did not link my phone number to my Instagram. I wanted anybody that found me to find me naturally. I did have a few like friends or, stuff like that. But I know if they found me, that means that they were searching something that I'm doing that interests them. I don't need people that aren't interested in what I'm doing, that aren't interested in my success, that aren't interested in what I have to offer in my business. And so I looked at it like that. And since then, it has probably been the most peaceful part of my journey, because I get to do it myself. I get to do it without, the extra stresses, because you're already going to have stresses, of course, with, like I said, failing, succeeding, learning new things. A lot of it is a lot of information, and that's fine. Like, I remember in the beginning, I felt so overwhelmed, like, oh, this is so much. But then I'm like, why am I in such a rush? Let me take my time. learn the information, ask questions. I have the support to do so. And also, I came across this video that I actually wanted to share, where it was like the difference, the mindset of, a millionaire or someone that wants to be one and someone that doesn't is a perfect example, because it's so silly, right? I have this Easter bucket, right? And I'm like, hey, I have this, I'm selling it $1,000. They said, what was the mindset? It was like someone that's not doesn't have a millionaire mindset would say that is entirely too much. I'm not paying $1,000 for a bucket. I'm not paying $1,000 for a backpack. That's a millionaire mindset would say, what's in it?
That's what I was thinking.
What can it do for me? What makes it $1,000? What? And he was like, and then he's like, now what if I were to open this, turn this bucket to y'all and y'all see $10,000? And that's how I kind of visualized the blueprints. Like, you're telling me this, but when I look inside, that's my million right there.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I want in there. So tell me how to get it. You're saying it's in there, I'm going in. You're saying this is this, I'm doing it. And, with the mindset that I have, the hard work and all this, of course, behind it, which y'all are very clear about, like, hey, it's simple. It's not easy. It's simple. It's not easy. Simple plan, but it's not easy, as in you have to decide to show up for yourself and your business every day. You have to decide to do the research. You have to decide to invest time, energy, effort, all this into yourself. So that has been probably the biggest, the biggest difference.
Yeah, huge. What else have you learned new? I mean, you've laid out so many things that I feel is like unbelievable, epic self-awareness that has made all the difference in your journey. I mean, which is why I've loved just talking about this with you, your mindset, your perspective, the self-awareness that you've developed. But I just want to ask, what else have you learned about yourself through this process? What do you now know about you that maybe you did not know or believe about you before?
Honestly, I just believe, and I've realized I've been selling myself short. Like, man, it, I'm about to get emotional thinking about it. Like, being honest, it's like, we spend so much time. Like, we have this one life to live. And I thought to myself, if something happened to me tomorrow, and I'm just hovering over everybody, right? Looking at family and friends, I would care less about what this person thought of me. I would care less about being scared to take that chance. I would just wish I did, A good example, I even use this for like my daughter. I said, can you think back of like, and I don't condone violence, guys, but let me just say this. I was like, have you ever thought back in like middle school or high school, like, look, for us, because we're all pretty much adults, like in high school, you're like, man, I should have gave that girl a piece of my mind. You know what? It doesn't even matter now. I should have just did it. I should have stood up for myself. I should have, maybe I should have hit her. No, but like, I should have done that for myself. And in that moment, I was scared to, because what if I fight her and I lose? What if I do that? I don't care. Like, how many things did I not do for myself because I was scared of what someone else thought of me, because I didn't give myself a true chance? Like, how many times? And we have one life, this one life to live. And when you leave, like, no one else matters. None of these things matter about people telling you what you're not capable of. So if I have one life, why can't I try? Why can't I fail? Why can't I figure out this is, because you know what? Some people, we're going to figure out this is what we don't want to do. And that's fine. But at least I am not working for someone for 50 years and saying, man, I wonder what it would have been if I had just tried. And my moment is past, like, so I just wanted to share that, because it's real. It's real. Like, I want my daughter to feel like my mom shows up for me. We're traveling the world. We have all these experiences. We have, blah, blah, blah. I want to leave something behind. I want to have a purpose. I want to impact the world in a big way. And it's not just about money. It's about what you can do with what you gain. It's about the access to great people. It is about the access, of course, to finances, because of course, that does things for you. But I want to start like my own nonprofit. There's so many things I cannot do because of money, because of this. So in my one life, I've decided, and I hope y'all do the same, is that I'm going to try for me. And if I fail, that's okay. Like it's okay. And I hope everybody feels the same. And I'm so sorry, guys, but it really is emotional, because when you start succeeding, you wonder why you doubted yourself for so. Totally. I'm a hard worker. I would work 2 to 3 jobs. I was a single mom, and 6 years ago, I had no degrees. I have 4 now. I know I'm capable of great things. We all know we're capable of great things. If y'all didn't think this, anybody watching this, you would not be here if you didn't know you were capable of great things. So what are you going to do with that in your one life? One. When you leave, that aunt doesn't matter. That mom, that dad, they have their spouse, their family, their life. This is yours. Don't let someone tell you how to live it. Run it into the ground if you want to, or fly up to the sky if you want to, but it's your one life. What are you going to do with it? And that's been the most profound thing that I've learned in the last 3 months that has motivated me to keep on going. And I'm going to keep on going. And I'm letting go. I'm going to fail again. I'm going to do great again. But that's okay. Like, it's okay. But I'd rather fail here than, and no, if you work in fast food, it's nothing to you. I was in the service industry. I was doing all the, I'd rather fail here than fail at Jack in the Box. I'd rather go right here in my purpose than at Texas Roadhouse. I'd rather go right here in my purpose than work in HR for someone else. That's where I'm going to fail. For me.
I'm fired up. Say no more. Say no more.
So do it. Do it. Do it scared, but do it.
Yeah. Wow. This is, I mean, in the comments, in the love, in the just inspiration, I think we got like,
go back
a couple
messages come up. I couldn't read them. I'm just like, y'all are gonna make me.
A couple of 100 people got damage in their drywall because they just ran through the wall. Right. They were fired up. You know what I mean? We got plasterers on the phone right now. Like, come fix my wall, come fix my door.
Like just sending you an invoice.
Yeah, right. Man, this has just been, has been one of the most powerful conversations we've had on the show. And thank you so much for helping us start our week off in this way. You are everything that you think you are, and more and more, way more. I mean, you are really a powerful soul and a powerful person. And your words really are deep and fiery and meaningful. And everything that you've said today and been through is true and has prepared you for this chapter in your life. And I'm so thankful, so grateful to see you claiming it, seizing it. It looks great on you. So come back and see me and keep me posted on your journey. Okay.
1000%. Thank you for having me. Thank you for allowing me to share, because if it just helps one person, I know it makes a difference. So I really appreciate the opportunity to have this platform for this moment. So
if the one person was me, you did it. But I think there's been many, many more. Okay. No, I'm for real. Really, seriously. All right. Blessings to you and your family. Stay legendary, and we'll talk to you later. Okay.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
See ya.
Bye.
All right, my friends, go and follow Jazz over at moneymoves_with_Jazz. You can find her on Instagram. Start there. Follow this one. Okay, follow her, because she's going places. She's doing things. She is making money moves, but she's also making mission moves, purpose moves, right? Impact moves. I mean, she's got a vision. She really does. She's got a vision. I do something once a month here with our entire team inside Legendary. It's called a vision call. And it's just setting the tone for the next month, setting the tone for the future. I hope that all of you can see the vision call that we did this morning and what Jazz laid out for her future. And you can adopt some of that for you in your future, to start seeing something bigger, to start seeing something more powerful, to start seeing you as more powerful, to start seeing just a bigger future for you and your family. It's possible, and the only one who's standing in the way is you. So get the hell out of the way and get the hell out of here and go live your damn purpose today. Stay legendary. We'll see you back here tomorrow for another episode. Peace.